Hello, hello. Hello, good morning. Welcome to my subscriber chat, subscriber lesson. It's Saturday morning here in the UK, and it's the 1st of January, dear viewers, 2022. Yahoo! Happy New Year to all of you. So let it be a happy, successful, amazing year for you that might bring you happiness, peace, and all of your achievements. Let's start the day with a new hope, new prayer, and new desires. So, what's your New Year's resolution? What are your plans? What are you going to do this year? Remember that it's very important to make a plan and work on it. Whether you are a professional person or you're trying to develop in your studies, academic person, or you like to develop your any other special skill. It could be English skill, it could be computer skill, it could be any other training which might be a plus point for your own development and growth. Remember that you should have good plan, you should have good focus. Okay, dear viewers. So let's move on as usual with my subscribers lesson about IELTS. 4 skills. If you remember, we all start with listening skill. So let's share the first listening podcast from the BBC Radio, 6 minutes English. Okay. So let's move on to the BBC 6 minutes English.
6-Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Sam.
In this 6 Minute English, we're talking about music. What sort of music do you like listening to, Sam?
Well, I wouldn't say I have one specific type. My taste in songs is more eclectic, a word that describes taste which includes a wide variety of styles.
Well, in this program, we're talking all about grime, a style of music which originated in London, specifically in the tower blocks of East and South East London.
Yes, the artists are predominantly young black men and often cite the decaying tower blocks they grew up in as an inspiration for the urban style of music.
We continue talking about grime music. I have a question for you, Sam. Stormzy is one of the most famous grime artists, but what is his real name? Is it A, Michael Amari, B, Martin Owusu, or C, Marvin Appiah?
I think I might know this one. I'll say A, Michael Amari.
We can find out if you're right at the end of this program. For many people, knowing the origin of a type of music helps them to understand more about the style and lyrics.
Here's writer Jude Yawson talking with BBC journalist Andrew Marr about his experience growing up
Hello,
on
everyone.
an estate in South East London on the BBC Radio 4 programme Start the Week.
Yeah, so I live like an estate. It's in near Crystal Palace, and for me, growing up, the
Welcome,
experience
everyone.
was like literally acknowledging the different
Hello, how are you?
cultures and peoples that live within like this estate.
Hello. Hi, Jahat. Assalamualaikum.
Salam, how are you doing today?
Fine. But just in Malaysia, we are having flooding.
Oh,
Yeah, so the New Year celebration has been cancelled by the government because they want all the government agencies to be prepared for the second wave of flooding.
so what happened exactly?
Um, the water level is very high, so many houses were demolished and cars broken, but luckily that my area has not been affected, being affected by flood.
Okay, so do you live in the ground floor?
Yes, my house is on in ground floor, but not my area. My area has not been affected, but in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, most of them has been affected. Selangor is the neighbor of the Kuala Lumpur, the city capital city of Malaysia, and it was badly affected by flood.
Okay, so let's hope and pray that you and your family stay safe and healthy.
Yeah.
So how was
How
it?
are you today?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year to you and to your family.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I believe that you were on holiday last week.
Holiday. Actually, I went back to my hometown because I was attending my friend's wedding ceremony,
Mhm.
and also I have something to do at my hometown. Because I do join politics. Actually, I am a small politician's member, so I support political parties at my hometown.
All right, okay. So is it a national election or what kind of politics? I mean, what kind of election are you interested?
Mm, Maybe we are expecting to have our election maybe next year. So I am one of the. I'm not a big leader. I'm just small members of political party, and I am assisting my party to do the campaign, election campaign, and some sort like that.
That's great. So how long have you been involved in politics?
Still new. I think around 4 to 5 years. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. All right, so thank you very much for coming back to that lesson.
Yeah.
Um, hang on a second. I'm going to check when does this class is going to end. It says January 2022. Okay, great. So, welcome once again.
Yeah,
Is it okay if you read a story? I mean, the history of New Year's, then we can go from there. Or if you have any specific question, maybe we can answer it first.
can you can go with your suggestions.
Okay. So this is history of New Year. Can you see the paragraph on your screen?
Yes,
All right. Are you from your mobile or the laptop?
I'm using a laptop.
Great. So you must be aware that Hallo has an updated version from mobile. It's called Hallo Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and Hallo has some contracts from Google to get some Google ads, which is really a good way to earn money. So if you're using a mobile, then these ads are coming there every. I don't know how frequently, but it comes every day. But Hello
Mm-hmm.
Plus has the newest version. If you buy it, then there is no more advertisement, and also you can bring 6 people to talk and hop on sections, and also you're going to get a golden colored hand badge the way you have got it, yeah, for subscription. But for Hello Premier there will be like a bit brighter color, and also the live streams can be recorded.
Mm, okay, got it.
All right, so those are the advantages of having Hello Plus version. I think there was another guy who joined this lesson, but he never joined me.
Oh,
Is it okay? Let me message him quickly, yeah?
okay. His name is Kronal, like sir.
Krunal,
Kronal.
yeah, he is my old subscriber.
Oh, I missed 4 of our classes before, and I need to rewatch after this. I didn't have time to watch our last live stream. Your last live stream. I think 4 classes.
Okay. Can you please start reading?
Oh, okay. History of New Year. The date was chosen partly in honor of Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, and the month's namesake. Though medieval Christians attempted to replace January 1 with more religiously significant dates, Pope Gregory,
Hmm.
uh, I don't know how to pronounce this, X111,
The
uh,
X means 10. This one means,
and
so this is Gregory the 13th.
Gregory 13 created a revised calendar that officially established January 1 as New Year's Day in 1582.
All right. So, is there any new word for you in this paragraph?
Medieval.
Medieval. Okay. Namesake. Do you know the meaning of namesake? Third line. This one.
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay. And this name, the Roman god.
Uh,
It is Janus. Yeah. Remember, it is Janus.
Janus.
Okay. You pronounce it correctly. Janus. Roman god of beginnings and the month's namesake. Namesake means uh, because of the names. Simply, The medieval Christian is a kind of fundamental Christians, which were very famous in like 14th or 15th century, when they believed that only your spiritual salvation is possible through the worshipping in the church. Okay, so this is a kind of specific group of Christian, fundamental
Oh,
Christian, we say sometimes. These explanations are at the end of this paragraph again. All right, so let's move on to the next paragraph.
New Year's Day is a festival observed in most of the world on 1st of January, the first day of the year in the modern Gregorian calendar. 1st January is also New Year's Day on the Julian calendar, but this is not the same as the Gregorian one. Whilst most solar calendars, like the Gregorian and Julian, begin the year regularly at or near the northern winter solstice.
Solstice.
Solstice. Solstice. Cultures that observe a lunisolar, lunisolar or lunar calendar celebrate their New Year's Day, such as the Chinese New Year and the Islamic New Year, at least fixed points relative to the solar year.
Okay. Any new year, a new word in this paragraph? Uh,
Solstice.
Modern Gregorian calendar. So there are two types of calendar you can understand: Gregorian calendar and Julian calendar. Okay. Solstice, yeah, winter solstice. So what is solstice? Generally, when the civilization started in this planet, they always thought that half of the year is summer and other half is winter. Okay, and it is the way they define how the day and night of this northern and southern part of this planet were measured. This term is called solstice. So in simple word, as you can see, one, so we have got northern part of the planet Earth and southern part. Okay, we are on the northern part, northern hemisphere it's called. Okay,
Mm,
and how the changes of day and night happens in winter is, this thing is altogether called solstice. But there is an explanation which is be difficult. It's either the two occasions in the year when sun is directly above either the farthest point of north or farthest point of south of the equator that it ever reaches. These are the times of the year in the middle of the summer or winter, when there are the longest hours of the day or night.
mm,
Okay, so what happens in the winter? I think it was 21st or 22nd of December is the longest night. Okay, and that's the time when solstice starts. It's like a geographical term.
mm.
Okay,
Okay.
and do you know the meaning of solar?
Solar, yes. Solar
Mm-hmm.
is sun, power.
Right, it's a Latin word. It's the meaning of sun. And lunar,
Mm, uh,
like
I don't know.
lunisolar. Lunar is also Latin word. It means moon.
Oh,
Okay, and they have given the example. So there are two types of year they maintain. One is dependent on the rotation of the sun. Another is dependent on the rotation of the moon, like Islamic year or Chinese New Year. Okay, and also
mm,
this Julian calendar is kind of depending on the rotation of the moon. Okay,
okay.
great. Next paragraph.
In pre-Christian In pre-Christian Rome under the Julian Calendar, the day was dedicated to Janus, god of gateways and beginnings, for whom January is also named. From Roman times until the middle of the 18th century, the New Year was celebrated at various stages and in various parts of Christian Europe on 25th December, on 1st of March, on 25th of March, and on the movable feast of Easter.
Any new word for you? Do you know what is Easter?
Uh, I don't know, but it's kind of celebration day, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not really sure.
Yes, a kind of celebration in the Western countries, and that happens also, March, April, some depending on the time of the calendar.
Mm.
Great. So, go to the next paragraph.
In the present day, with most countries now using the Gregorian calendar as their civil calendar, 1st January, according to that calendar, is among the most celebrated public holidays in the world, often observed with fireworks at the stroke of midnight as the New Year starts in each time zone. Other global New Year Day traditions include making New Year's resolutions and calling one's friends and family.
Okay, so do you know the meaning of resolutions?
Resolution, yes. I just know about this meaning yesterday.
Okay, what does it mean?
Before this, I just know that resolution means like company's resolutions. But yesterday, I was using Cake application, and I know that resolution also could means that like if you have like goal for you to do, which is New Year goals, New Year aims. Like I have like on 2022, my resolution is to improve my English. So that is resolution.
So your plan or goal, or you would like to achieve something, you can say that this is my resolution.
Yes, I just know it yesterday. Too bad.
Okay, so now these are the explanations comes. Gregorian calendar.
The Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most of the world. It was introduced in October uh, 1582 by Pope Gregory XIII as a modification of the Julian calendar, reducing the average year from 365.25 days to 365.24 days, and adjusting for the drift in the tropical of solar year that the inaccuracy had caused during the intervening centuries.
Okay. Any new word for you?
Mm, no.
Great. Next, Julian calendar.
The Julian calendar, proposed by Julius Caesar and AUC.
Yes, we're going to explain what does AUC mean.
Should I mention it AUC?
Yeah,
I read
read
okay.
AUC. Yeah.
AUC 708 46 before century was a reform of the Roman
One moment.
calendar.
It is not before Kenji. Before the birth of Christ, it is.
Oh, so just read 46 BC.
Yes, birth of Christ. Before the birth of Christ, basically. BC stands for.
Oh, was a reform of the Roman calendar. It took effect on 1st January AUC 709 45 BC by edict. It was designed with the aid of Greek mathematicians and astronomers such as Sosigenes of Alexandria.
Yeah,
Sosigenes
of Alexandra. Very good.
of Alexandria.
Okay. Now, next paragraph.
The Julian calendar is still used in parts of the Eastern Orthodox Church and in parts of Oriental Orthodoxy, as well as the Berbers.
Berbers. So,
Berbers.
Orthodox is another kind of a Christian group, and Berber is the kind of special people. Once upon a time, they are the part of this Christianity, another class of people. Okay.
Okay.
Next paragraph, please.
The difference between the Gregorian calendar and Julian calendar is 14 days, which is why Catholic Christians celebrate Christmas on 25th of December, whereas Orthodox Christians who believe in the Julian calendar celebrate Christmas on the 7th January and New Year on the 14th January instead of 1st of January.
Okay, so look at now the amazing point. So, because of the Julian calendar, 14 days after, so you can see that the Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January instead of 25th of December, where most of the people celebrate it. And instead of 1st of January, New Year, they celebrate on the 14th of January.
I just know about this.
Yeah.
So in the UK, is it you will have another holiday on 7th of January?
We don't have any holiday, but they celebrate it. These Orthodox people are everywhere in the world, most of the Western countries, especially in European countries. I know in Russia there are many Orthodox people. They always celebrate Christmas on the 25th of January and the New Year on the 14th of January. I was not aware as well, until last year, maybe year before. So then I had to read a little bit more, and I thought, oh, that should be a good topic for reading.
Mm,
Okay, so barbar. If you remember, there is a word called barbar. So barbar
yes.
is a kind of look at this definition. Barbars. Would you like to read it, please?
Barbers or Imazingan.
Imazigan, yeah. They have.
Barbar languages.
So this Imazigan is called in their
Imazig-
Berber language. Berber is a kind of language. You can see these symbols are the Berber language, Romanized.
Oh, Romanized. Imazian, singular, Amazi, Arabic, are an ethnic group of indigenous to North Africa, specifically Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, and to a lesser extent Mauritania, northern Mali, and northern Niger.
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 Sorry, one. Do you know how to read Arabic? There is a Arabic name as well. Can you see in the third line, fourth line?
Amazing.
Amazi, then Arabic. In Arabic,
Arabic,
It is written Amazigan.
amazing. Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Niger. Okay. Niger, Mali. These are all African countries. Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and to lesser extent Mauritania, northern Mali, and northern Niger. Okay.
Niger.
Next line, please.
Mm, Smaller Berber populations are also found in Burkina Faso and Egypt's Siwa Oasis. Historically, Berber nations spoke the Berber languages, which are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family.
Okay. This word, I think, if you remember, I explain you. If you ever find ALLY at the end,
Historically.
yeah, yes, strictly, it should be avoided because of the schwa sound. So it is not historically, it is historically.
Historically.
Very good. All right. Um, let's move on. Now, medieval Christians, if you remember, You asked me this question.
Okay.
Medieval Christians. Can you please read it?
Okay. Medieval Christians, fundamental Christians who believe in spiritual salvation.
Do you know the meaning of salvation?
No.
It's freedom.
Oh,
Freedom of your spirit or of your heart.
salvation.
Okay. But I'm sure you know this word. Very often people use fundamentalist. Oh, he's a fundamentalist. So fundamental is a kind of basic things of any religions where people believe anything blindly. It could be from any religion. It's not only from the Christianity. It could be from Muslim as well, or any other religion like Hinduism or Buddhism or Judaism or any other religion. Okay. Now this is the photo of Roman god Jainas. So it is only an imaginative photo because people think that the person who portrayed that he might have face like this. It is not the double face; it is single face, but they depicted in both ways. Okay,
Mm.
all right. Would you like to read, please?
In Roman mythology, Janus was the god of doors, gates, and transitions. According to Roman mythology, Janus was present at the beginning of the world. As the god of gates, Janus guarded the gates of heaven and hell, access to heaven and other gods.
Okay. Uh, you know this word door. Remember double O. One. You see the second line doors. God of doors, gates, and transition. Do you know the meaning of transitions?
Uh, changes,
Changes. Very good.
change.
All right. And some scholars regard, yeah, from this part.
Okay. Some scholars regard Janus as the god of all beginnings and believe that his association with doorways in derivative. He was invoked as the first of any gods in regular liturgies. The beginning of the day, month, and year, both calendrical and agricultural, was sacred to him.
Any new words?
Um, yes, I think derivative and liturgies.
Derivative. Okay. So some scholars regard Jainas as the god of all beginnings and believe that his association with doorways is derivative. Derivative means when something comes from one point or one thing, we call it derivative. Okay. Say, if you give an example, that will be better. Hang on a second. Derivative. So yeah, so derivative means if something is derivative, it is not the result of new ideas, rather it came from or the copies. So what it means by this word here, Jainas was always, you know, responsible for the opening or closing the doors. Okay, the doors from one door to another. So you can say the derivatives of the doors. And liturgis is kind of, hang on a second, it's a new word for me. I read it last night, but I forgot. Liturgy.
Liturgies.
Yeah, liturgy.
Liturgy.
Liturgy. Okay, a particular set of words of music action used to ceremonies. Okay, in Christianity, liturgies means uh, so it's a kind of festival through which they celebrate with music or any other action. Okay, so it's a kind of celebration that is done through music or poem. Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you. So when did the Gregorian calendar start? Once again, we are going to
15,
go on.
15. When did the Gregorian calendar start? 1582. Gregorian calendar, also called New Style calendar, solar dating system now in general use. It was proclaimed in 1582 by Pope Gregory XIII as a reform of the Julian calendar.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
When did the Julian calendar start? The Julian calendar, proposed by Julius Caesar on AUC 708 46 BC, was a reform of the Roman calendar. It took effect on 1 January AUC 709 45 BC by edict. It was designed with the aid of Greek mathematicians and astronomers such as Sosigenes of Alexandria.
Okay. So you can see that Julian calendar is related to the Roman calendar. Okay. I forgot to bring this information. I'm copying and pasting now so that we can read it. So what is a Roman calendar? These are the information. Roman calendar is, hang on a moment. Okay, the Roman calendar. This is the okay, Roman calendar. So Roman calendar, if you can please read it.
Okay, Roman calendar. The Roman Republican calendar still contained only the 355 days, with February having 28 days, March, May, July, and October 31 days each. January, April, June, August, September, November, and December 29 days. 29 days. It was basically a lunar calendar, and short of 10, 100
It is
by 10,
1/4. It is actually. Okay.
1 by 4 days. 1 by 4 days of a 365 1 by 4 day tropical year.
Hang on a second. It's too big. Let me short it. One moment. Huh? Go on.
AUC
AVC.
app.
If you remember AVC, you got the AVC in Julian calendar. Julius Caesar AVC 708. So AVC is a Latin word. It says ab urbe condita. Please read it.
Okay. AUC ab urbe condita, or anno urbis condite, abbreviated as AUC or AVC, express a day in years since 753 BC, the traditional founding of Rome. BC, before the birth of
Christ.
Christ.
Then this word.
Okay. Indigenous, used to refer to or relating to the people who originally live in a place rather than people who moved there from somewhere else.
Okay, so indigenous. Remember, what does indigenous mean? Basically, so it is the native people who used to live there. Like in the United States, Yankee are the indigenous. Okay, in Australia, Aborigines are the indigenous people, and in the UK, the Aborigines people, indigenous people are, I think, the Gallic people who used to live in the first century, and when Romans came to, um, survive here in 70 to 80, then it started changing. So, do you have any indigenous people in Malaysia by any chance? One?
Mm, maybe Aborigine people.
Yeah, are they from Malaysia? Natives?
Yes. Yes. They live in the jungle long time ago before Malay come to Malaysia.
Okay, that's cool. So we call them indigenous, eh?
Indigenous.
Okay, let's move on. Indigenous. Okay, so there is question and answer time. If you can remember it, yeah? We read it few times. When did the first New Year start? The day and month you have to answer.
Quite hard. I didn't have time to
No worries, we'll
remember.
go back again quickly.
Okay.
Or I can remind you. When did the first New Year start? It is
Mm,
January 1 is the first answer. But the year, do you remember the year?
I don't remember.
We read it just now, 1582.
1582.
Yeah, when the
1580.
when the Gregorian calendar started at the same time. Okay. Who started it? Do you remember?
Julius Caesar.
No, Julius Caesar started the Julian calendar.
Julian Calendar. Uh,
Okay. So it was the Gregorian calendar. It was done by the Romans.
mm, I didn't remember, sir.
Okay. Do you remember this one? What is the Gregorian calendar based on?
It based on the solar
Very good. Solar or sun's movement.
sun movement.
And how about the Julian calendar based on?
Based on month movement.
No, it is the other one, lunar or
Lunar. Based on
moon.
moon.
Okay, how many days are the difference between the both calendars? Do you remember it?
I,
14 days.
no,
14 days.
for
14 days, yeah?
14 days.
Okay. And then when do Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas?
25th of January, 25th of December,
No, that is the Catholics celebrated. Orthodox
14 January,
after 14 days, so 7th of January.
7th of January,
And when do Orthodox Christians celebrate New Year? Sorry, not Christmas.
14 January.
14th January. That's great. All right, so we're going to make some sentences um, for our practice. So there is a sentence given there. They celebrate New Year. Okay. So what you have to do as a practice one, you have to make it a negative sentence. Then you have to make it an interrogative sentence and WH questions. WH question like who, why, when. That starts with W or how, etc. Okay. And do you remember tag question?
Yes, yes.
So let's move on to do that. They celebrate New Year. That is the main sentence.
Okay. So should I make negative sentence?
Yes, please.
Okay. They do not celebrate New Year.
Okay. Year, instead of do not, can you contract it as a don't?
Can
So
they don't celebrate New Year?
very good. Bravo. Interrogative sentence.
Mm, do they celebrate New Year?
Okay. You brought a New word, does. When do you use does and when do you use they, do?
Does for singular.
Singular?
Singular.
Third person singular, remember. It is not only singular, third person singular. Third person. And when do you use do?
Do for plural.
Plural.
More than one.
Very good. So your interrogative sentence should be,
Do they celebrate New Year?
do they celebrate New Year? Yes, very good. Now make it one WH question.
Mm, Why they celebrate New Year?
Say again.
Okay, when they celebrate New Year? When?
Okay, remember that when you're using WH question, it must again follow the interrogative question pattern. Okay, so what was the interrogative question pattern?
Mm,
You said, do they celebrate, right?
yes.
Celebrate New Year. Now this is the amazing part of making WH question. This is the original sentence or derivative, we can say. It came from there, so you have to use any WH question. So why, or maybe how, or maybe when. So can you use these words before this sentence?
Mm, why they celebrate New Year?
Again, you're missing the point.
Why do why do they celebrate New Year?
Very good. You remember, this is the interrogative question. You cannot remove do from the question. It doesn't seem to be question in that case. Why do they celebrate New Year? Or how do they celebrate New Year? Or when do they celebrate New Year? Practice one more time with all of these three possible WH question, okay?
Okay. Why do they celebrate New Year?
Very good.
How do they celebrate New Year? When do they celebrate New Year? Learn
Fabulous.
something.
Okay, write it in your notebook so that you don't forget next time.
Okay.
Remember that in WH question, it is important to first make the interrogative sentence, and afterward you use the any WH word like why, how, when, which,
So
whatever.
we need to put do after the after WH questions. Am I right, sir?
After WH question, you must use the pattern of the interrogative
Okay.
question.
Got it.
Clear?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, next sentence.
Okay. The Roman are an industrious nations.
The
So negative.
Romans, remember, if there is S or D at the end of word, you must pronounce it clearly. The Romans are an industrious nation.
The Romans are an industrious nation.
Do you know the meaning of industrious? I'm sure you know.
Yes.
What does it mean?
Uh, oh, I know industry. So industrious. Is it similar with industry?
Not exactly.
Oh, so if that's the case, I don't know the meaning, the right context of industrious.
Guess. You can guess it. Let me see. How do you guess it?
The Romans are an industrious nations. Um, developed nation,
Uh,
industrious, modern.
so you thought from the industry. If a country has industry, the country is developed. That's right. No, it's kind of that. If you just broaden your thought in a different way, industrious means people or the person who works hard.
Works hard.
Okay, like industrious worker, I should say.
Industrious.
Like one is an industrious person. That means you work hard to achieve your goal.
Mm,
Okay, it is not related to industry, but it is an adjective, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to make it adverb, it should be industriously.
Industriously.
Very good. So negative sentence, please.
The Romans are not an industrious nation.
Very good. Next one. Interrogative sentence.
Mm, do the Romans are an industrious nation? Do or does? Romans is one. Does the Romans maybe does?
Test for you. Let me see.
Okay. I think does the Romans are an industrious nation?
Okay. Let me explain you, then you will be able to understand. When we make an interrogative sentence, the rule is that you must bring the verb in the beginning, okay, at the beginning of the sentence. One, do you remember how we can make interrogative sentence? The rule is that if there is a verb in the sentence, bring the verb at the beginning.
Bring the verbs at the beginning.
So which is the verb here in this sentence?
Are
Are. So if there is no verb, in that case we bring do or does or did according to the sentence pattern. Remember here, they celebrate New Year. There was no helping verb. That's why we had to bring do for plural, does for third person singular. But here we have got a main verb is are. So you must bring are at the beginning to make it an
oh
integrative sentence. So
are the Romans?
are the Romans an industrious nation? Okay. And Romans
Okay.
is plural. You can see after Romans we have used are. Are is the indication of the plural subject.
Okay.
Clear now? If not, I'll explain
Yes.
one more time. Are the Romans an industrious nation? Do you know that they are industrious nation?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Remember that. If you don't know any answer in a English academic expression, we must always say sorry, I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yes, we don't say I don't know. It sounds bit okay. Um,
Is
the,
it arrogant?
pardon?
Is it sounds arrogant in the
Yes,
native speakers?
in English language it sounds arrogant. If you don't know anything, say simply sorry and I don't know.
Right.
That's why we
So
call it magic words. If you remember, sorry, excuse me, please, thank you. The four words are always magic words. Okay, now WS questions.
mm, who are the mm,
Mhm. Who are the and
what are the what are the Romans and what are the Romans and industrious nations?
it doesn't match. We don't say what. Who is
Okay.
fine. Who are the industrious nations?
Who are industrious nations? Okay.
Yes, say
Who
like this,
are,
instead of what are the industrious nations, we don't say like this. Who are the industrious nations?
who are the industrious nations?
Very good. Tag question.
Mm, the questions. The Romans are an industrious nation, aren't they?
Very good.
Aren't
Aren't they?
aren't they?
Bravo. Uh,
Okay. Seriously, that one I learned from you also, teacher Rahat, on the previous class.
tag question.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes we use tag question, and also there is another pattern. Echo question. Do you know what is echo questions?
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
After this, how many minutes got? Okay. Echo questions. Echo question is say. Can you say me a sentence? Then I will explain you. What is echo question?
Mm, I buy a new car.
So what are you going to buy? You see, echo question is I'm going to ask your question in a different way to find out the answer. Like you said that I'm going to buy a new car. And I'm going to ask you, what are you going to buy again? So this is the echo question which comes from your question to find out the answer. Like you're going to buy a new car. Is it
Okay.
clear? Like if I say that I learn English, then you can say, what do you learn? I learn English. You see, so this type of question is called echo questions, which has the reflections or similarity with your questions.
Got it.
So would you like to give us an example? One echo question.
Mm, um, I give a sentence and then I construct an echo question from there, sir.
Yes. So
Okay.
that I understand that you have understood clearly.
Uh, I went to the cinema yesterday.
You
Where do you where did you go yesterday? No. Where did you go yesterday?
uh you went to the cinema yesterday.
I
You
went to the
yeah
cinema
you
yesterday.
went to where?
You went to where? Oh,
Yeah, remember that should be another question pattern. You went to where? Cinema. Rather than where did you go? You went to where? It should be a bit specific to find out the answer. Then you can say, oh, cinema.
oh, can you say that? Where do you go?
Where do you go is not an echo question.
Where,
It's simple question. Echo
okay.
question should be specifically like where you went to where, or you can say you went to which cinema. You can say like that. Okay,
Okay.
clear. Very good. Uh, Negative sentence you have done for this sentence. One. Can you see the sentence?
Uh, Time varies from country to country.
Mm-hmm.
So negative sentence. Time do not varies from country to country.
Did you say do not?
Yes.
Time is singular or plural?
Time is plural.
Okay, look at this sentence pattern one more time. You know, varies. What does varies means?
Different.
Do you know what is the main verb here? Vary.
Vary.
Very.
So
Vary means differs. Okay, so
differs.
because it has got es already, so time is a third person singular number.
So
If it were plural, then we wouldn't say varies, we would say vary.
vary. So it's a singular.
Third,
Single.
third person singular number.
Singular
Time
number.
time is important. Look, we have used is because third person singular number.
Time
Varies.
is
Okay,
yes.
clear now?
Yes.
Very good. Now make the negative sentence, please.
Time. Time is not vary. Time do not vary. Time is not vary. Time is not vary from country to country. Time is or do.
We
Time
use does. Remember, we explained. If it's a third person singular number, we use does, not do.
time does not time does not vary from country to country.
Time does not vary from country to country. Very good. Interrogative sentence.
Mm, does time vary from country to country?
Very good. Well done. Bravo. WH question.
Mm,
Which
mm,
question should be appropriate? You need to find out.
yeah,
Is it
sure.
a who, what, when, how, which? You have to choose any of
How
them.
how
Mm-hmm. Very good. How?
how 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 does time vary from country to country?
Very good. Well done. You see, now you understand. How does time vary from country to country? Bravo. Tag question.
Mm, Time varies from country to country. Mm, doesn't doesn't does it
Doesn't it?
doesn't it
So once
doesn't
again,
it?
remember time is a third person singular number. So time varies from country to country, doesn't it?
Okay.
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 We've got 5 more minutes. Okay. Mhm. Now, last one. Let's do it quickly.
Okay. It is late for us to go back to history. Negative sentence. It is not late for us to go back to history.
Very good. Interrogative.
Okay. Um, mm, the do it late? Is it late? Does it late? Does it late? Do it? Does it? Does it late for us to go back to history? Cannot do does do it late?
Why? Which one is the verb here? Once again, one. Remember, first
Go back
you need to find out is there any verb in this sentence or
is
not.
is
Is. So if there is main verb, you don't have to bring do does. But if there is not a verb,
is it late? Is it late for us to go back to history?
is it? Very good. Remember, this sentence pattern has the similarity with the previous sentence pattern. And because there is not this one, there is are. Here it is is. Is it late? Yeah, remember.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
WH questions. Whether is whether
Weather is not a WH question. No.
oh
One more time. WH question is who, what, which, when, how.
when for us to go back to history.
Remember that
Uh,
when you make sentence, the sentence should be logical, meaningful, and sensible. Okay.
why it is late for us to go back to history? Why it is late?
No, it is late is a simple sentence. What was the interrogative sentence again?
Sorry, sir.
Interrogative sentence for this question.
Is it late?
Like I'm writing it for you. Late for us to go back to history. So, if you are to use WH question,
So I cannot say why is it late. Asking explanation for that.
yeah, but you said why it is late. Remember,
Why it is late.
that's why I have written it for you. Do not say why it is late, because it is late is the normal sentence, simple statement. It should be why is it late, rather
Why is it late?
rather than why it is late. Okay,
Okay, okay, got it. Why is it late?
very good. Tag question.
Mm, is it for us to go back to history? Is it in? Why is it? Is it late?
Tag question.
Is it late? Is it late?
Now the last question. Tag question. One.
Oh, that question. Is it late for us to go back to history? Isn't it?
It is late. Simple sentence should be fast. That's same as it is. So it is late for us to go back to history, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That's right. Okay. One more last. We can do it
Okay.
quickly.
You should have a New Year's resolution. Negative sentence. You shouldn't have a New Year's resolution.
Very good.
Interrogative.
Very good.
Shouldn't you have a New Year resolution?
Should you, not shouldn't you. Should you.
should you have a New Year's resolution?
But that is also correct if you make negative interrogative, shouldn't you? That's also correct as well.
Okay. WH question. Why should you have a New Year resolution?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That question. Uh, shouldn't you? You should have a New Year resolution, shouldn't you?
Very good. Well done. The last sentence you did it very, very
Okay.
good way.
We have 1 minute, sir. I want to ask you one question quickly. Let's say my hand was splashed by the hot oil. So how I want to express it to other people if I want to say that my hand was splashed by the hot oil?
So you got burnt.
Got burned, sir.
Okay.
My hand got burned
Yeah.
because of splash oil.
I
Can I say that?
I'm writing it for BURNT. Burnt. Burnt or burned. You know? Thank you very
Got
much.
burned.
One, I'll see you tomorrow. We have got 15 seconds, 14.
Okay,
Take,
thank you so much, teacher. Hi.
yeah, take care and Happy New Year once again.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.